again, and happy Wednesday. Today we are finishing Colossians. It's only 4 chapters, and so we're going to be reading Colossians chapter 4. For the opening question, if you could sit down and eat at any restaurant right now, which one would it be? Like I said yesterday, I was a paramedic and we love to eat. We knew of a bunch of great restaurants all over the Boston area. But today, if I had to answer that question, I wouldn't pick a restaurant in the Boston area. I would pick a restaurant that Caitlin and I visited a long time ago. One time before Caitlin and I had kids, we went on a little weekend getaway for my birthday. It was in a small town in New Hampshire, and there weren't many places to eat, and it seemed like the only restaurant that was open in the evening was in this little strip mall. It was literally right next to a nail salon and a laundromat. Because there was essentially nothing else, we decided to give it a try. We didn't have high expectations because we judged it on the outside. It seemed nice and clean, but it wasn't anything special. The waitstaff just dressed in jeans and polos. It wasn't too large. It had just a few tables, and we looked over the menu and it seemed nice, and then we ordered our dinner. But when the food came out, it looked fantastic. But even more, it tasted even better. We were just completely blown away by how good this food was. Looking back through my photographs, I found the restaurant. It's called the Bantam Grill. It's in Peterborough, New Hampshire. Looking on Google Maps, the most useful review starts like this: a real restaurant in a strip mall. Apparently, we weren't the only ones surprised by how nice this restaurant was. Now, turning to the Bible, today's highlight is Colossians 4:16. It says this: "Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Going to church and being a Christian can seem kind of boring and not relevant to today's culture. We can seem old-fashioned. We can even seem a little weird. When people think of church and being a Christian, they can have low expectations, kind of like when Caitlin and I went into that restaurant. But what Paul is saying here in this verse is that we should be like the Bantam Grill. On the outside, we might appear a little casual, nothing out of the ordinary. But when we start talking about the important things in life, when our words are flavored with salt, when we start talking about God's forgiveness, when we start talking about purpose in life, when we start talking about heaven and hell and life and death, when we start talking about Jesus, when we have a peace in the midst of this chaos that we're experiencing right now, those things are incredibly relevant, and those things are incredibly important right now. My hope and prayer for all of us at Chapel is that when we're talking with our neighbors and everyone about all the things going on, is that we're able to share some truth that we have found in the Bible. Even though we might appear normal on the outside, the truth is that we have this incredibly deep and valuable truth on the inside. We know how to answer life's difficult questions in a very meaningful way. Now, this might be really surprising to some people who haven't thought about church in a deeper way. You don't have to be some fancy theologian with 3 PhDs. You don't have to know the original languages in the Bible. All you have to know is that you were dead before you had God's forgiveness, and now with God's love, you are alive from the inside out. And the basics of the Bible apply to everyone, and that can make a huge difference in everyone's life. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Starting tomorrow, we'll be going through Ephesians, and instead of making a video every day, I'm going to make one longer video at the start of Ephesians. But we still will be posting highlights to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so be sure to follow us there on social media. Most of all, though, please continue to read your Bible and pray every day. This will enable you to give an answer to everyone about the hope that you have in Jesus. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.